Boy, you know you make me float. Boy, you really give me high. Ooh, I feel like I'm on dope, 'cause you.
What's up, you guys? This is Deja, and we're back with another episode for What's Tea in Vegas, where the lights shine bright, but the tea is even hotter. So today I have a special guest with us. His name is Torres Ingraham, and he is a model, and he's also an actor represented by Rise Talent Agency. You guys welcome him.
Hey, how y'all doing?
Yes. I am so glad that you had the opportunity to actually come out, sit with me, and, just kind of answer some questions that, we might have, just getting to know you
Right.
and a little bit about Rise as well.
Absolutely. I appreciate the opportunity for sure.
Yes. So exactly how we usually do with our special guests, we do like to dive down into some questions and have some fun. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to jump right into it.
Cool.
Okay, so Torres, you went from being an athlete to the modeling and the acting industry.
Right.
What was that transition like for you?
So a little bit about kind of how that happened. I was a freshman in college playing college football and running track and doing that thing. And I went back to my home country, the Bahamas, and I was on Christmas break, and I got discovered by a modeling agency out there.
Nice.
Never thought about modeling whatsoever in my life ever.
Yeah.
And then, they signed me off of just my basic look at, I think I was like 18 at the time.
Okay.
And did that and then left the modeling business, I think maybe 2 years after that.
Okay.
And then it was just playing college sports. I was in network marketing and an investor, all the other great stuff. And
Oh,
then came
nice.
back to it after my football career ended during COVID.
Okay.
So that's kind of how that happened. It was something when I left it in 2019, and I'm very, I would say religious in a sense. I do believe in God.
Okay.
And I asked God that if modeling was something for me, bring it back into my life. And then it did in 2023 when I met Dawn Sullivan at Rise Talent. And then acting kind of fell into my lap last year.
Okay,
so
gotcha.
the acting is super, super new. Modeling was something that I had been interested in since I was 18, but really last year was when it really, took over for me. So,
I love that. Yeah, that's exciting to hear. So another question that I do have for you. So which skill from sports do you feel like gives you the biggest advantage in the entertainment industry?
I truly think it's my competitiveness. Being in the environment where you're fighting for opportunities, you're fighting for
Right.
jobs, you're fighting for gigs, you're fighting for roles, you're fighting to be in fashion shows.
Right. That is
So
true.
it's always a competition. So the same way I approach the gym and game planning and watching film for football, it transitioned into modeling, doing my homework, making sure that I'm approaching each opportunity the most professional and most prepared way.
Right.
And being able to transition that over. I think that's the biggest transition, is my competitiveness and my looking to prepare.
Okay, gotcha. And I know how it is to be competitive. I was an athlete myself.
Right.
I played basketball. I ran track. I did it all. But I understand the competitiveness.
Absolutely.
It's just something that's in you.
Yeah, I definitely think that's my biggest edge, because a lot of people that are in entertainment, for the whopping majority, they aren't the type that have been on a team or in
Right.
a competitive light outside of entertainment.
Okay.
So I think that athlete to entertainer crossover is definitely, it gives the athlete turned entertainer a little bit of an advantage, but then a
Okay.
disadvantage as well too. But I think there's pros and cons to everything.
Of
But I
course.
think the pros from athlete to entertainer definitely works in our favor.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree to that. I
Right.
love it. Okay, so the next question I have for Torres is, what's one thing about modeling or the acting industry you wish someone had told you before you started? And I know it could cover so many different areas. So
I think this is the section of my podcast career where I might get canceled.
it's okay.
But now, keep in mind, athletes, entertainers, we all have a certain level of delusion.
Yes, that's true.
I think anybody that wants to, what's the word I'm looking for? Anybody that wants to achieve like superhuman worldly things,
Right.
super ambitious people,
Yeah.
they have to have a certain level of delusion.
Of course.
And
Yeah.
one thing that I wish I had known prior to, I guess, so to speak, would be that there's a whole different archetype of delusion in entertainment, and it's
Right.
one that I've been blessed, to have mentors like a Don Sullivan, like a
Yes.
Victor Salvador, like a Texas Battle,
Yes.
to help me navigate what's real from what isn't.
Okay, gotcha.
And
yeah.
that was, I guess, the biggest learning curve, but I enjoy it because now, I'm so thankful for having people like the people I just mentioned in my life to help me navigate it.
Yeah.
If I didn't have them, I think I probably would have been as delusional as some people, and it would be delusion in a negative, not a positive.
No,
So
I
I think the
understand.
biggest thing is the different types of delusional people, and it's definitely it's entertaining. But I mean, it's entertainment, but it's definitely entertaining to navigate with those types of people in this business.
Of
So
course.
it allows me to see what to do and what not to do very easy. So I think I look at everything like a positive. I try to take the good from everything.
I love that. That was a
Yeah.
great answer. Yes, thank you. No, because
I try to politically correct that one because we could have
Right.
went in a different direction for sure.
and no, that's okay because I mean, with the people just out there, when it comes to being delusional, it's a real thing,
Yeah.
and sometimes we just got to stay away from it.
Yeah.
Yes. So the next question I have for you: did being an athlete make it easier to handle the pressure of casting calls and auditions, or is it a whole type of a different challenge for you?
I think it's a yes and no to both. I think
Okay.
yes, it did, but with the entertainment, the pressure of being in that environment for a casting or audition is very different,
Uh-huh.
but there are a lot of similarities. And with those similarities, it has given me an advantage of being calm under pressure, and then when the lights are on, because the lights aren't even really on at a casting and audition. They are, but they aren't, because once you get the call back and you get the job, then the actual lights on. Then you have to be on set. Then you have to
Right.
be in the fashion show. So that's when the real lights
Right.
come on. So I think the auditioning process is more of a prelude, and I think me being an athlete, especially a collegiate and almost professional football player, there's this thing in sports called short-term memory, where you have a
Right.
bad play where you have to instantly forget it and move on to the next play. I think that's allowed me to handle the process of all of these castings and the process of rejection and continuing to move forward. And a lot of times I do auditions and then I forget that I did them.
Okay,
Simply
gotcha.
because I'm like, okay, that's done. We surpassed that. We're on
That
to the next
short-term
thing.
process,
that
right?
short-term memory.
Yeah.
So I think that's helped me a lot because
Yeah.
I see a lot of people that are new to the space, or a lot of people that this is their world, which it is for me too, but a lot of people where this is their world and they're, still a little bit wet behind the ears, like myself included. I'm not saying this like
Right.
I'm a 10-year veteran. I'm still very new in the business as well. But a lot of people will do auditions and they kind of sit and ponder on, when will I hear back? Did I get it? All of that
yes.
stuff. And it's like
Right.
you cause stagnancy with that.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think a lot of people
Should
I wish more people
implement.
should have.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
if you weren't an athlete, especially at a high level like college or almost on a professional level, you will
Right.
never really experience that until you're in that environment. So it's a learning curve for people that don't have that experience. So it's an advantage for me.
Of course. And I love the way that you explained the short-term process, because that is something that people probably they don't consider or think about, and that would be something that would be good advice for those that are in the modeling industry.
Right.
Just you guys don't dwell on it too much. Just let the process play out. Whenever you hear back, you'll hear back,
Right.
and then just go on to the next thing. And then if you don't hear back, it's okay. Just
Yeah.
keep going. Keep trying.
Everything that you audition for might not be for you.
Right.
When you look at things and you're like, oh, I want this part, I want this role,
Yeah.
I want to be in this show. But maybe you're just not a fit, and maybe that's a positive thing.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Some things just aren't for you. Like,
Right,
and
that is correct.
I remember one of my first castings for a movie, like very early. I think I was only acting for 2 weeks. I got my first movie audition where I made it very far in the process of almost getting the part, almost to the final 2 actors between me and I think the guy that got the part. And the guy that I was portraying, I really wanted to play that role because it allowed me to tap into my favorite, I guess, celebrity or influencer, whoever is Tupac Shakur.
Oh yes.
And
I think that was the question I had.
Yeah, so the guy that I was going to portray it gave very much Bishop from Juice.
Oh yes.
So I was
right.
very excited to play that role, but there were some things about him that was like, do I want to be labeled as this guy is my first major motion picture? Probably not. But I'm
Yeah.
currently filming a movie right now.
Yes.
That
And
I'm
tell us about that.
yeah,
please.
I'm getting to kind of portray that Bishop character in this light.
Yeah.
And it's more so on par with what Bishop was and who Tupac portrayed with Bishop
Gotcha.
in Juice. So being able to channel that is pretty cool because that's something I've always wanted to portray.
I love that. And you know, like as far as Tupac and the way that he, you know, inspired a lot of people, it's a heavy influence, regardless if he's here with us or not. Rest
Right.
in peace.
Right.
But I'm excited to, you know, see this upcoming movie.
No, I'm excited. It's a good one. I won't release too much information on it, of course, because
yes.
we're still in filming.
Okay.
But if you've never seen me act, and those that know me as far as the Vegas community that knows me, people that know me from the Bahamas and Alabama and things of that nature,
Yeah.
they have seen the many lives that I've lived and the different
Right.
Reincarnations of myself. So people that have known me for 5, 6, 7, some like my best friend and a few of my close friends that have known me for 11 years, being in the U.S., they see that side because they saw that side in real life.
Right.
And then those that know me in this new reincarnation, I think this is life 8 or 9 for me. So I'm definitely a cat.
Yeah.
So life 9 here in Vegas, you would never fathom the 2.
Yeah.
So those that have seen the snippets and the clips of the trailer so far, it's like, oh my God, Torres, I would have never. I'm like, yeah, you didn't know me 5 lives ago. So
Right. And you know what? I love the fact that you use the term reincarnation because transformations are a real thing. Even at this current existence, it's definitely a real thing.
Oh, absolutely. If you're not evolving,
Right.
your body, your soul,
Right.
your mind is dying before
course.
your actual physical flesh and blood actually
Perishes,
passes on.
yes.
If you're not constantly reinventing yourself, you're
Yeah.
kind of moving in one place.
Right.
know?
And that's called stagnancy, you guys.
Right,
Don't
of
do
course,
that.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go ahead and ask this last question here as far as your dream role or possible campaign. If you could land your dream or acting role or modeling campaign right now, what would it be and why?
So let's start with the hard one because I have to possibly find this answer on the
Okay.
spot because I haven't given much thought into it. Let's start with the acting.
Okay, no problem. Go
On
ahead.
the acting side, I don't have a particular role I want to play, but I do know some actors I would love to work with.
Of course. Go ahead. That's fine too. Yeah,
So
I like that.
I definitely want to work with Michael B. Jordan, of
I
course.
love him.
So he has been not so much an inspiration in the aspect of I see myself in him as an actor. I think
Yes.
we're two very different people coming from two very different,
Right,
upbringings, walks of life, things of that nature. But to see the grind of because he was not an overnight success.
Yes.
If you really listen to the interviews, he really put his head down
Right.
for really the past 10 to 12 years.
Right.
And then he got Killmonger, and then he got, Creed and all of these other things
All of the
going
big
on.
movies, right.
And then also another one, which a lot of people don't know him as much because he's not an A-lister, but he played a very important role that was important to me.
Okay.
Demetrius Shipp Jr.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
He portrayed Tupac Shakur in the All Eyes on Me biopic.
Mm-hmm.
So he's another one that I want to work with because
Yes.
the kid looks just like Pac.
He does. Oh
And
my
it's
God,
just-
you guys.
It was kind of scary. It's like, is this his illegitimate
He does
son?
look just like him.
So with what Tupac means to me, because I don't know if we can see it on camera, but I have Machiavelli II tattooed right here on my inner forearm.
Okay,
That
gotcha.
was for Tupac because
Yeah.
Tupac has been a big inspiration in me just as a person,
Uh-huh.
and as a revolutionary. But my revolutionary aspirations are in a different light.
Okay.
It won't be through music because I can't rap if you paid me. So it'll definitely be through the modeling and the acting and the the advocacy for men's mental health things I want to do
Of
career wise and things of that nature. So
Okay.
I think those two, and obviously I could give the cookie cutter Denzel and Samuel Jackson,
All of those big names, right.
I want to be in the room with those guys.
Of
you know what I mean?
course.
Now to not dive into that too far.
Mm-hmm.
On the modeling side, that's an easy one. My dream campaign is Calvin Klein.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah,
Okay.
and not so much because when I first got into the business, it was for obviously the underwear.
Of course.
You know,
Okay.
but I think I'm wearing Calvin Klein shirt right now. But when I got into runway, which was, by the way, was something that I was not interested in at all. You know, shout out to, you know, my mentor, my mom, my PR manager,
Yes.
my conscience, Dawn Sullivan.
Yes.
She hit me up December 2023, 2 months after I, you know, did my photo shoot with Rise, and said, I think you should start coming to runway classes. Right hand on the Bible. I was like, for what? And
Yeah,
she
right,
said, well,
right.
you know, I think this would be something that you should do, and you should try to do hard things, you know, which is our slogan at Rise Talent. And I said, you know, I don't really think this is for me. And she was like, you know, give it a try. And if you don't like it, you know, tell me, you know, to F off. So I was like, you know what, I'll try it. First class, it was worse than watching paint dry. It was terrible. And she's like, so I'll see you next week? Because she was like, there's potential. I'm like, okay, this lady's blowing smoke up my, yeah. So I kept coming, and, you know, my first fashion show of my career was May 2nd of 2024. And since then, and so a little over a calendar year, I've done 38 shows in my career, crossing Las Vegas, New York, and Los Angeles. So Calvin Klein, their fashion wear for fashion shows is absolutely immaculate. You know, people don't look at them like a Givenchy or a Dolce & Gabbana or a Dior or a D Squared or Yves Saint Laurent, but their suits and just the way that their garments are manufactured is absolutely amazing. You know, and I didn't realize that until runway became a passion for me, because it was just the underwear, the shirts, the regular clothing. So my dream campaign, like not saying that I would do this, but if I walk in a Calvin Klein fashion show, I could happily retire. Even though I'm not going to, but like that would be my be all end all for me.
No, I love to hear that, because even you just mentioning like the different designers that aren't, you know, they seem to not be those big brands for a lot of people, but they're still bigger brands for others. So I actually love the way that you explained that.
Right.
And Calvin Klein, I hope you get that opportunity.
Yeah, that's definitely on the bingo card for sure.
Yes, I can definitely see that happening. So let's go ahead and dive into some questions in regards to your dating lifestyle.
Okay.
So we do understand that you are actively in a relationship.
Yes, I am.
However, within the dynamic of your relationship, you are open to poly. Is that correct?
Yes.
So with the question that I do have just in general, is the dating pool different from you coming from the Bahamas and transitioning into the States?
Well, I was a very young teenager when I moved to the U.S., so that wasn't really a forefront for me.
Okay, then that's okay.
I think I got involved with girls, I wouldn't say late, because by American standard, I got in right on time.
Right.
But in the Bahamas, it was just sports and school.
I love that.
You know, and my mom very much sheltered me. So I didn't go outside much. I didn't go out with friends on the weekend. I had friends, but I didn't have friends where it's like a group of us are about to go to the movies or go do something. And I wasn't really interested in that. I was very much practice my jump shot, my front driveway, and work out and play video games. That was about it. And I mean, like fast forward, you know, a little under a decade later, it's kind of the same. So
Gotcha.
that hasn't changed much. I'm very much laser focused, kind of like
I love that.
a derby horse, you know, with blinders on. But you know, so when I started actively dating in America, it was interesting.
Okay. How so?
You know, in the Bahamas, I wouldn't say we fetishize American women, because that's kind of weird, but Bahamian guys wanted to be with American women. Okay. So it's kind of different from American men, where they want foreign women from
there's
other
no
places.
Different.
You know,
Absolutely,
so
there's no difference
for
there.
us, American women are the foreign women.
Right. Okay.
So that was pretty cool for me, because it's like I have this very wide variety, because they're all American, and American is just such a broad spectrum.
It is. Very
from
much
state
so.
to state, and even from city to city.
Yep.
You know, so that was pretty cool. So I did that. You know, I was married at one point in my life. I am divorced. There were some things that I went through mentally, emotionally, physically, some abuses that I went through in that aspect. And my first, because I was engaged twice, married once.
Okay, gotcha.
So I had a fiance my freshman year of college, and she actually introduced me to polygyny, and because she was going into the military, and she said to me that she wanted me to be taken care of. Like, say she gets active duty or has to be deployed.
Got it,
She didn't
yeah.
want me just running around doing crazy stuff.
Right,
at,
right.
you know,
Just like behind her back,
you know what I
when it
mean?
could be in the forefront.
You know what I'm
right.
saying? So she's like, I'd rather know the girl, know that she's taking care of you, knowing that
Yeah.
you're good, and like she's covering for me. And then when I'm not deployed, we could all kind of be together.
That's
You know?
you guys don't hear that often. You guys, if you're watching, let us know if you guys are into, poly, or if you're more traditional into the monogamous, just lifestyle.
Right.
We definitely want to hear your feedback. But as far as that goes, I love the fact that there's people out there that are open-minded
Right.
to that lifestyle
Right.
if it works for them.
Right.
Because it doesn't work for everybody. But if
Right.
it works for you, it works for you.
Right.
So I absolutely, kudos, sir. And if this is something that you choose to do, absolutely.
Right. And a big thing too is that everything I've done in my life, I've always observed the masses and did the opposite, so to speak. So looking at the landscape, and it's not just America, it's the Bahamas, it's in Europe, it's in the Western world, because the Bahamas is part of the Western world, Western
Right.
civilization, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
Monogamy has honestly never worked,
Okay.
And we could, go down that rabbit hole in a plethora of different ways.
So many ways.
Just
Yeah.
on the forefront, I'm a facts, data, statistics kind of guy. I'm not really much an emotional. I'm an emotional guy. Don't get it twisted. I'm a model.
Yes.
And an actor, so I'm emotional.
So you're in tune with your emotions.
I'm in tune
of
with the
course.
emotions, but I'm not an emotional thinking person.
Okay.
If you
Gotcha.
ever, and you've been around me because obviously,
Yes.
you're a part of Rise. You're in my class.
Yes.
You never hear me, and even when we talk just on the regular, just as adults,
Yeah.
you never hear me say I feel.
Right.
Whenever
That
I
is
talk
true.
about something, I always say I think.
Yeah.
And that's not because, I'm a man and this, that, and the third.
Yeah.
It's like I always think about things logically.
Okay.
And from a logical standpoint, monogamy fails more than it succeeds
Oh.
from a statistical standpoint.
I can't argue with that because everybody breaks up and it happens so frequently.
And what is
So-
and let me ask you this. What is the number one reason for breakups?
Infidelity.
Infidelity.
Yes.
Okay.
That is
So-
true. Yes.
And why do you think that is?
Because I feel like it's between jealousy. I feel like there are people who can't necessarily fathom their partner being with someone else.
Right.
And I'm me personally, I'm like that.
Right.
Like I wouldn't want to, but I've had relationships that failed and I was cheated on. So it's like if I was open to that lifestyle,
Right.
things could have worked differently.
It's not even. This is the thing, because the poly space, where it's polygamy, polygyny, because those things are different. A lot of people don't know that.
Right.
They just know it as just poly.
Yeah.
But what I think the issue is, and I'm speaking from a monogamous standpoint. I'm not speaking against monogamy. If people find
Right,
their
right.
person and they live happily forever after for the rest of their life, I salute that.
Okay.
However, I am in my 20s and I can legally consume alcohol, because I'm not telling y'all my exact age. However,
Exactly.
comma,
Okay.
the Disney fairy tale died a long time ago.
Okay. Gotcha.
So
And I feel like that too.
I-
That was a good, yeah.
I think
Okay.
I think at our big ages,
Uh-huh.
we should not be thinking about happily ever after. We have to live in reality.
In reality,
and in reality,
yes,
if we
that
look
is
at
true.
the past 60 to 100 years, and if we go back to biblical time, and I'm not pushing religion. I'm never a Bible
Yes.
thumper
Okay.
of people. People believe what you believe. I believe in
Right.
God. From a biblical standpoint, has monogamy ever been a thing, or is it a social construct?
That's going to give you guys something to think about. What do you guys feel like? Definitely drop comments. Let us know. Tag us in how you feel in regards to the aspect of polygamy and how far back it may have went to where there was no such thing.
Right. Yeah, because men naturally
Yeah.
aren't monogamous.
Gotcha.
And they're just not. Like, we look in the animal kingdom, what male species only procreates with one of the same female species?
Gotcha.
It doesn't happen. Yeah, we rolling.
Okay, so yes, let's go ahead and dive into some fun for all questions. I'm gonna go ahead and get started. Okay. So, if you weren't doing modeling or acting, what would your dream job be?
I've already been able to do my dream job, actually.
Okay.
I was an investment educator for 4 years,
Ooh,
teaching
okay.
people how to trade in the financial markets.
Okay.
And I was actually one of the best, I would say, in the world at it at such a young age.
Okay.
and I absolutely loved that business.
Okay.
And just being able to impact people by showing them how to not only make money with their own money and, the
Right.
skill set of investing, which to people like us or to people that don't come from a financially sound background.
Yes.
Being able to show people of all walks of life, no matter what race, color, creed they are,
Right,
that
right.
there's other opportunities than the status quo of how to make money
Right.
anywhere, whether it's in this country or somewhere else.
Yeah.
Being able to make money off of other countries' currencies is something that I think is a skill set that I'm going to have for life. Well, I know it's a skill set I'm going to have for life, but it's something
Gotcha.
that I've been able to give people
Uh-huh.
and give people a skill set that they can have for the rest of their life. So
That's awesome.
That was so if I wasn't doing,
Yeah.
if I had not came back to modeling, which would have transitioned into me becoming an actor as well too,
Uh-huh.
I would still be an investment educator.
Nice, nice. So, I mean, as far as being an investment educator, is it like, do you offer classes? Do you still do that like as a part-time gig? Like
Not
just-
currently. I did have a
Okay.
Discord group that I
nice.
had I wouldn't say clients, students that I was teaching. I have a
Right.
course that's in the Discord that you could pay a monthly subscription to access. I don't do the live session classes
Okay.
anymore. And with the way my modeling career is going, I probably will never have the time to do that again. So what I'm in the process of doing going into 2026 is creating an ebook.
Okay.
And then if people want to have like one-on-one sessions with me where I
Gotcha.
could break stuff down and they have my full undivided attention, you will pay an arm and a leg for it.
And you know what? It's worth it because I'm going to be honest. I've tried to get into the investment field, and I actually just had this conversation the other day, and I was just like, the way that I just do not comprehend
Yeah.
just the process. I can't get into it, but it's because I didn't have like a life coach, or I
Right.
didn't have like
A mentor or something
a
of
mentor
some- yeah.
that like a one-on-one who just broke down.
Yeah,
broke
just
down
trying to
everything.
freelance it is going to
Oh,
be
yeah.
a very interesting, because a lot of people
Don't
like,
recommend, guys.
I could just learn this on YouTube. Okay,
Oh no.
sure.
That sounds like me. I'm not even gonna lie, because I'm the type of person where if I see a craft that I want to try out, and
Right.
it's something that I can see the process online somewhere,
Mm-hmm.
I'll try to figure it out first, and then if I don't get it, I'll probably keep trying. But after a while, then I'm through with it. But I did try to get into the investment opportunity, understanding stocks and cryptos and
Yeah.
all that good stuff. I just couldn't do
And there's
it.
a lot of guys out there. I think when I got involved with it, it was still very much underground in the sense of it wasn't
Yeah.
on social media as much. So I definitely was ahead of the wave of
Okay.
people doing it. And then you see a lot of people now in today's time, if you click on a couple of, investment style content, you'll see a lot of these gurus and things of
Right.
that nature.
Yeah.
And some of them are good, but, with anything, if it's a real estate guru or something else guru, it's people that flamboyantly show the lifestyle and then
Right.
sell a course to you and
Yeah.
really don't know what they're talking about. But
That is true.
I have a good network of friends. Shout out my guy Kareem Ali, also known as He's Anointed out in San Diego, my crypto mentor.
Oh, nice.
Shout out my guy Seven down in Atlanta, Georgia. We call him the King of New York session with crypto and
Okay.
indices. Who else? My guy Endless. There's a lot of guys.
Yes,
Shout
there's
out-
a lot of them, huh?
Yeah, shout out my mentor Reynaldo Perez, the guy that got me into network marketing and investing. Ray Rice, we used to call him. Stand up guys.
Okay.
I met some really cool men in the space,
Yeah.
and the thing we're all brothers.
Oh, that's nice.
So
Yeah.
it's super dope to see people that look like us
Yeah.
in an environment like that, and we thrived in it for a very long time. The
Yes.
pandemic was really an iconic era for the digital trader.
Yes, I'm here for it. I
Yeah.
love that for you guys. Absolutely. Okay, so next fun for all question I have is, who is your celebrity crush right now at this moment?
There's a two-way tie.
Who is it? We got to hear it.
So one, I think the mainstream media will know. The other one, unless you are in that world, you won't know this person. The
Okay.
first one is Avril Lavigne.
Ooh,
Yeah,
really?
So Avril Lavigne has
Okay.
been my celebrity crush since I was like 6.
I love, when I say like I grew up
Yeah.
listening to Avril Lavigne, I love her to death.
Yeah.
She is
Avril Lavigne.
so awesome.
And
her
then
music.
the
Oh.
one that you don't know, if you're not a professional wrestling fan or you don't
Okay.
watch the WWE or anything over the past, I would say maybe 10 or 12 years, you
Mm-hmm.
won't know this girl. But if you're listening, look her up. Her name is Liv Morgan.
Liv Morgan.
Yeah.
I feel like I've heard of that, but I've heard of that name before, but
Yeah.
I would have to see. I'd probably have to see online.
Yeah, Liv Morgan. She definitely. So the thing about both of those two
Uh-huh.
ladies, they're like living, breathing, real life images of Harley Quinn.
Okay,
You know,
gotcha.
they have a
I
very
love
much
the tie.
alternative Harley Quinn aesthetic. So
Yeah.
so alternative girls.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, they got you. You
Yeah.
kind of, you got to
You
eye
know?
for them.
The crazy thing, my queen that I'm with now, she's
Yes.
an alternative kind of aesthetic as well too. We were just talking about that last night because we went out on a date. Because we try to still date often, even though we've been together for a little while. We try to
Yeah.
date often, keep
And that's good. Yeah.
So
Keep it alive. You got to
definitely.
get out there.
So yeah, I was telling her that she has that alternative. I was like, that's hot. So
Yes.
that's my thing.
Yes. Okay. So, next question that I do have is what's one guilty pleasure TV show or movie that you could binge watch nonstop?
The Sopranos.
The Sopranos.
Sopranos. I'm
I
very
love
big.
it.
I'm very big into mafia
Okay.
styled content.
Okay.
And very old school mafia content, like true Italian
Yeah.
mafia content. No disrespect to BMF, you know what I'm saying? I think that's pretty cool too.
Right.
But you know,
Okay.
the old school like Italian like wise guy kind
Yes.
of mob kind of environment. So yeah, The Sopranos.
Okay, not a problem. Okay, so the next question that I do have is if you could trade lives with any celebrity just for one day, who would it be? You're like, I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah, I don't think I want to do that.
Okay, that's fine too.
I don't think there's any celebrity that I would, because like we see the lives they live,
Oh my goodness,
but
yes.
we don't see the problems they have to face
Right.
every single day and the challenges. I have this saying that I don't want my problems to change. I just want different problems.
Okay.
And for some of these celebrities, especially now,
Oh my gosh.
I don't think I want any of the. Well, if I had to give an answer, LeBron.
Okay, gotcha.
If I could trade lives with a celebrity, it'd probably be LeBron.
Okay.
You know.
That's a nice pick.
The king.
And then even just like piggybacking off of what you said, like we're really out here watching, like, I mean, as far as like the female celebrity artists and stuff, all of this uproar with like Cardi B and Nicki Minaj, they're literally going back and forth. You could tell that
Man,
the
look,
drugs are there.
If you pattern anything,
Yeah.
ladies, I know I'm a man, and I know you guys don't like to listen to men in 2025, but please listen to your boy. I'm here to help, not harm. I promise. If you are patterning anything in your aesthetic or characteristics from any of these social media female influencers, you are
goodness.
going to lose.
Oh my gosh. It's been
You're going to lose.
embarrassing.
You're going to lose at life. You're going to lose in relationships. You're going
Right.
to lose in your marriage. You're going to lose with raising your children. Do
Right.
not copy any of these women out here. They're garbage.
And I just find it funny because just kind of watching just how everything kind of played out between them two, it's like you see that life isn't as pleasant when you
no.
have all of the riches behind you. You know
See,
what I mean?
we have to look at the full makeup of people.
Yeah.
You know, just seeing what they did in their past before fame.
Okay.
You know, and it's common knowledge. I can't even say do your homework. It's open knowledge what these women were like prior
Right.
to.
Yes,
Is
it is.
that something that you like? Would you want that person being an aunt or a caregiver to your child? If that
Right.
answer is no, why are you maneuvering adjacent to that?
Right. Just to how they are, just in
You
general.
know, so
Absolutely.
It's kind of those
Gives
kind of
you
vibes.
something to think about. It
Yeah.
does. It does. Okay, so let's go ahead and ask one more fun for all. Let's see here.
I think you missed the question earlier.
I did, but it was because I was only trying
Fair.
I was trying to keep up with the timing. But the last question I do have, if you had to choose only one as far as sneakers or designer shoes, which one would they be?
Sneakers. I'm very much a minimalist. I'm very simple.
Okay.
Which is kind of funny because if the camera could see, I have Air Dior ones on.
Okay.
But it's a designer shoe. But
Okay.
in my day to day, I mean, I
Uh-huh.
was coming on a podcast. It was like you gotta step out, kind of,
Yeah.
sort of. But in my day to day, I'm very much generic shoes. I do wear a lot of Jordans. I don't think Jordans is a designer shoe per se.
Well, yeah, it depends.
It depends on who you
Yeah.
ask. But when I think designer, something like Dior and like
Yeah.
like Givenchy or something like
Yeah.
that. You know, like Louis Vuittons or something.
Yeah. They're
That-
more in the sports.
Yeah,
sports
that's never
scene.
been me. I'll rock a pair of J's
Yeah.
till the cows come home. You know, like I'm very you see me on a almost 3 to 4 times a week.
Right,
You know,
right.
I'm black shirt, black pair of jeans or black joggers, and I think the same pair of black shoes.
Gotcha,
You know what I mean?
gotcha.
I'm very much a minimalist in that spot. I'm not really materialistic when it comes to clothing. Like
Okay.
actually, like this is gonna sound so bad as a model, but
Uh-huh.
I think I've bought clothes for myself. I think 3 times in the past 6 years.
Oh, wow.
So a lot of
Okay.
clothes that I wear is I've had them for years. 'Cause I keep good care of the clothes, obviously, so that I don't let them deteriorate. So
Gotcha.
I think I've been the same size for 3 years too. So it's worked.
No, I understand. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. I do want to thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to sit down with you and get to know you just a little bit as far as, your background, what's going on out here in the industry, and just giving us some insight.
No, absolutely. I appreciate it. And
Yeah.
I definitely want to highlight that, I'm a lot of layers.
Yes.
I work with a lot of children.
Yes.
And being in that environment has been such a blessing to me.
Yes.
And I'm so glad that, I have the mental fortitude and the guidance from my mentors to,
Yes.
separate my personal life from my, my business life, as a mentor in this space of entertainment and as a member of the, industry as
Yes.
a model and actor, just being able to, see it from both sides of the lens, no pun intended,
Right,
has been
right.
such an advantage for me. And my mom, my agent Don Sullivan, always tells me to pay it forward. So hopefully
Gotcha.
something that you heard today is me paying it forward to you.
Yes. So shout out to Rise Talent Agency. If you guys are looking to put your kids or even yourselves in any of the classes, reach out to them. You can follow them on Instagram and as well as Facebook. They are out here in Las Vegas off of Rainbow and Desert Inn, you guys. So check them out, definitely. And once again, thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Yes, you guys. We'll see you next time.